Okay, this is your collage demonstration video. Collage is optional. Most of you did not select it, but once you see it, you might want to do it. So for the collage, you would need that bigger sheet of tracing paper that was in your sets. You're gonna need some kind of glue. If you have a glue stick at home, that's probably the best. Although white glue would work just fine, rubber cement works really well, but glue sticks is probably something that you might have. As far as what to collage, collage just means to glue down. So you could, I have like some colored paper, like the back of something. I could use a magazine. I'm going to show you newspaper because you can also put other materials on top of newspaper because it is paper. But just remember when you're selecting something, I might maybe select like down here because that really doesn't have any pictures or images. Or perhaps I'm like, ooh, this bold, like red and white striped area looks cool. With magazines, you can't put a lot of stuff on top of them, except for Sharpie or paint, because magazines have like a waxy finish to the pages. So maybe I would choose like that area. So you want to choose areas that look more like a texture or a value or a pattern rather than a picture and image, because again, that cannot go into your drawing. Okay, so you're going to select the area that you would like to collage. I'm going to collage this piece of the suitcase, and I'm going to put my tracing paper on top. I'm going to trace the bottom edge of my paper. I'm going to trace my shape so that the piece I cut out will fit perfectly. Okay, so now I have my shape. Then I need to put graphite. This is the front side. I need to put graphite on the back side. So I'm going to move my final draft out of the way. Here's just like a scratch piece of paper that I drew on top of for art 1-2. I'm going to flip my tracing paper over, and I'm going to put graphite on the back side of the tracing paper. So this is very similar to what you guys did for cubism. Okay, then I'm going to put the tracing paper on top of an area from the newspaper that I want to use. Ooh, so that looks kind of cool. I wonder if that would. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna use that. Well, actually, I kind of like the one with the numbers, letters, so many choices. Actually, maybe I'll just go words because I know that I want to put other media on top. So let me just find words to use. Okay, and you want to make sure it's going the right way. So it lines up that way. Okay, I'm going to put it on top of the newspaper. Actually, I'm going to go vertical. And I'm going to retrace over. And then you have a slight impression left. And you can either, if you have an X-Acto knife at home, you could use X-Acto knife, or of course scissors will work. So I'm going to cut out as neatly as I possibly can. And voila, I have my piece, although I think it needs to be a little rounded on that side. Okay, then for gluing, you guys do have extra newspaper, or whatever newspaper you've watercolored on top of, keep it and you can just use it for like the messier things that you're gonna have to do. Okay, so I wanna make sure what side I need to glue. It's gonna fit there. So I wanna make sure I'm gluing the back side, and I wanna cover the edges pretty well. So be careful not to get glue on top, because if you get glue on top, nothing really is going to go on top of your paper that you're gluing down. So you need to use the tracing paper to get it to fit perfectly. And then spend a minute to tracing paper to fit perfectly. You want to glue the edges all the way around, and then after this dries, I would go back and kind of erase pencil that I don't want to see. So then I would do that second one, and just so I have like some balance, I'd probably do like one over here, or maybe I'm gonna do a piece within this triangle, or I always do like 3, like so your eye will kind of move around, or maybe I want to do this whole negative space as newspaper or something else. So I wouldn't just put it in one area. I would pick a couple areas to put collage in. And then when I demonstrate other media, I will show you how to put other media on top of newspaper or any kind of colored paper. But it could be anything you want to glue down. I've had people glue down tissue paper, magazines, cloth, like fabric. Just keep in mind like what will go on top of whatever you're gluing down. Okay, so if you didn't have collage down before, it's a fun way to get really creative. And if you don't want to do it, you don't have to, but please make sure you answer the questions in your Google Doc.